Hi, my name is Taslin. Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for a bit. Yeah, I've literally gone off the face of the earth from YouTube, from Instagram, and I'm gonna do another video explaining where I've been, what I've been up to. It's gonna be an emotional one, but yeah, I'll film that when I am ready. But for now, I have so much content backed up since I've been away, and I just kind of want to come and share with you, yeah, some of that content, and let's get the ball rolling. So today's video has to do with a certain something that I've purchased. I purchased my first designer bag, and I wanted to kind of share with you some tips on purchasing your own designer bag if you've been thinking about it, as well as share with you the bag I've purchased. So I've never really been into designer bags. I got into designer bags during Christmas, or design or high-end items during Christmas. I don't know, during that time I just became really spendy, and I think that's around the time where I bought my Mac, and then I had my eyes on bigger things like a designer bag. So I'm a very frugal person. I'm gonna be totally honest, I'm very frugal, and I didn't want to have to spend all that money. So I never really had a desire to get anything that was really high-end per se. I like quality items, but I've never been into like putting that much money into things. So yeah, I ended up purchasing this bag, and I wanted to share with you the reasons, because especially if you're frugal, you're very similar to me. You're like, no, I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a bag. 1 grand, 2 grand, 3 grand. I'm not going to spend that money. So yeah, I'm going to explain to you the bag I purchased and the reasons behind why I purchased this bag. The bag I purchased was the Chloe C Squared bag. It's this bag right here. And honestly, like, it is so nice. It still has so many things within it still. It's come with like the little Chloe Bicester Village details here, and yeah, I purchased it from Bicester Village. And yeah, how I went about purchasing it, actually, I purchased this bag virtually, and honestly, it's so much more nicer even just having it here. I've used it, even though I have an unboxing coming up on my Instagram, because I just love unboxing like reels, and I felt like I need to do a reel for this baby. Why not? So it comes with a duster bag. This is the duster bag right here. Sorry about the lighting. The weather's just different here. Like sometimes it's dark and sometimes it's really bright, and so my lighting keeps dipping in and out. So I hope you can see me and it's not washing me out too much. But this is the duster bag it came in. Has a little thank you card. I haven't opened it yet. And also I even asked them, like, can you please put a little Chloe handbag in there, because I really wanted to like go into the shop and get in, just have my little Chloe bag, and I wanted to like put it at the bottom of my closet within the bag, and they kindly popped this in there as well, which is so nice, because even though I couldn't have the shop experience which I wanted, you know, it was still quite nice to have all the little elements that I would get as if I went into the shop at Bicester. So yeah, this is the baby I purchased. It's not the mini, which I actually originally wanted the mini, funny enough, but the color I wanted in the mini they didn't have, and they didn't have any black minis, and they didn't have any white minis, and I knew I wanted a neutral color. So but my heart really was after this bag. Like, I kept going back and forth, and I narrowed down on this bag and another like gray bag, which was quite nice as well. It was still quite sleek and it was quite classy, which is what I was kind of going for. but in the end, yeah, this baby won. And it's so much, like, it's so spacious, and I think that's important for a first bag, because I know I would be able to take this many places and put a lot of my things in it, because it's quite big compared to the mini. So yeah, now that you've seen the bag I've purchased, there'll be more closer shots on Instagram. I've worn it with outfits, and there's a little mini unboxing thing if you kind of want to see like more closer shots of it. But that's my new baby, and I'm really pleased. I'm really happy with her, as you can tell. And now I wanted to share with you some tips if you wanted to purchase your first designer bag. Okay, so tip number 1 is purchase dupes of the bag that you've got your eye on. You might find that this is absolutely silly, but trust me, especially if you're a frugal person like me, like I was like, I can't spend $1,000 for this bag, but I can spend £10 and it looks a lot like the bag I wanted. And it kind of gave me an idea of whether I will put this bag to use if I had it in living flesh. So I was just buying dupes of all kind of bags. Like in my if you look at a lot of my photos where I have like a handbag on, and I always have comments saying, I like your bag, I like your bag, I like your bag, because I like bags that look classy, even if they're just high street bags. I never really pick a high street bag that's just like, I would say average. Like it has to have this kind of high-end look to it, or it has to look like a dupe for a designer. And that's kind of how I pick my handbags unconsciously. But then what I really wanted this Chloe bag, and I kind of want a Chanel bag as well, I kind of like was picking bags that looked similar or looked like dupes. So that's what I was doing, and I was realizing I was wearing them quite often. So if you bought like a high street bag that looks like I'm looking now because I have a little bit of a script, so yeah, if you're buying a bag that looks a lot like one of your designer bags and you're wearing it a lot, then that's a good indicator that you are going to put it to use. Because for you to spend that kind of money and then just pop it in the corner, it's like, no girl, no. No, it's not a decoration for the house. It's nice to like be able to, you know, buy something that's nice and actually put it to use. So that's tip number 1. Buy dupes of your favorite baby and wear it to different outfits, get a feel of it, imagine it's the real thing, and then that would kind of give you an idea of whether you will like use it a lot once you splash out that money. So yeah. Tip number 2. This is an obvious one, but save towards the bag. Save towards the bag. And how I ended up buying this bag, my frugal self, was that I was listening to entrepreneur business podcast about rewarding yourself in business, and I knew I had some wins in business that were financial, and even though I was going to spend this money on this bag, that I was going to end up like easily replacing the money I was going to spend on the bag. So yeah, I knew personally that it wouldn't have an impact on my finances as much. I'll be able to eat, I'll be able to still pay my bills and all that good stuff. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is that if you can't afford it, if you know you can't afford it, then don't put yourself through that. Don't put yourself through that in terms of spending that kind of money to try and keep up with the Joneses. And I am going to be totally honest, like before in like my early 20s, like I was that person. I would just spend, or even when I was a teen, like I would just spend just to be like, to impress others. And you know, I'm there struggling to pay my bills, I'm there struggling to pay for things, but then I look good and I've showed them that I'm popping. But at the same time, like, where does it get you? It's so much more nicer to be able to spend that money and know that you have, like, you still have savings, or you still have money to pay for the things that you need in life. So yeah, so that is tip number 2. In terms of this bag was on my wish list for like a year. it was on my wish list for a year. I originally wanted a YSL bag, so I was watching a YSL, but that was kind of my little taste of designer world. I went to shoot with another blogger, and she had a YSL bag, and she's like, oh no, you can borrow mine. And I was like, oh, and this bag is so nice. And I remember like going home and searching the cost of it, and I was like, oh my god. And she had 2 of them, and I was like, people spend money on bags like these, like people, like that was my first taste of using a designer bag, and it was borrowing hers. And then I told myself, I really want a YSL bag, but I can't afford it. And then I started liking Chloe bags, and yeah, I literally started looking at this Chloe bag for a year, and I kept thinking, I'm gonna get this bag, I'm gonna get this bag. And there's other ways of like getting it apart from saving. Like you can even, like, there's Depop and Vinted. You can sell your stuff that you don't need. You know, you have stuff that you don't need. Like, sell those things, and then that way when you do your budget, that bag that you're gonna get, or whatever that high-end designer item is, it might not be a bag, it doesn't eat that much into your budget, and then yeah, you are good to go. And for me, this is just, it was just a way of me kind of like, I knew I've wanted this for such a long time, but also rewarding myself for like, okay, look at how far you've come. Like, I'm gonna get this to like say, this is how far you've come, and it's like motivation for me to go further, because I know that this is a thing that I'm doing now, that I am going to not only help friends or be kind to friends and when I have good accomplishments, but be kind to myself as well. Like, I'm gonna reward myself like when I hit those targets, so I get high in those goals. And yeah, so this is just something, this has been a dream that's been marinating for years to get this bag. Trust me, it wasn't overnight. I ain't no millionaire. But yeah. Tip number 3 is shop around. Trust me, shop around, shop around, shop around. Honestly, like, I shopped around so much for this bag. Like, literally I was shopping around, asking like just going around using discount codes, how much it would be. Like, I shopped around so much for this bag that it was crazy. But yeah, like, there are offers when it comes to these bags. There's discount codes when it comes to these bags. Some of these bloggers and influencers even are rolling with like discount codes, and there's ways of getting the bag cheaper than just buying it on a whim. And even though I wanted the bag and the store experience, which I will have at some point, I felt that right now, affordability wise, it was just so much more easier for me to get it virtual, get it online, and get it from Bicester. Because like, why spend £1,600 just to say I walked into the store for the same bag that I can spend like £1,000 or less than £1,000 and get the same exact bag, and it comes with all the bells and whistles to show that it's authentic. And that's another important thing as well, is like, make sure that the bag is an authentic bag. There are some scammers out there, and there are some websites, so be careful. Like, please be careful. If you need more details on where I purchased my bag, then by all means send me a message, leave me a comment, and I can't even give you further information. Like, you know, if I'm not sure if they're still doing things virtually, like, I hope they are, because I do have my eye on something else. But yeah, I can probably put you in contact with the sales assistant that helped me pick my bag. Like, I was talking to her for months, constantly dotting myself in there, asking questions, dotting myself out of there. Like, trust me, this wasn't no off the whim, off the hat decision to just spend that kind of money on a bag. So without further ado, it's time to talk about the cost of the bag. So I spent, give me 2 seconds, I'm checking just to make sure, because I looked at so many different bags. So I spent £827 for this bag. The original price was like over £1,600. And I originally wanted the Chloe Mini C, but the lady explained that this is bigger than the Chloe Mini C, and like, the difference in prices wasn't that much. Like, the other Chloe Minis were like 700 and something from Bicester, and yeah, about 7 or like 811. So it's just like for me to spend that little bit of extra to have like a proper, like a bigger bag, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's just so much more sleek, and I love the shape of it. It has like, it's just a squared, it's like a Chloe squared bag, and yeah, it just spoke to me and we fell in love, and the rest was history. I'm joking. But yeah, so that's how I kind of picked this bag. In terms of color, I'm actually looking to see if there's any other course things that was involved. That's what I'm looking down. Yeah, in terms of color, I picked a neutral color, and yeah, I just felt that that's another thing as well. Like, it's black. I knew I either wanted a black bag or a white bag because I knew I'd get a lot of wear out of it. I still want to like a white bag now that we're heading more into spring. Like, this black bag is nice, but it'd be nice to have like a white designer bag as well. So that's what I'm kind of like, I'm thinking about, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to make that leap. So yeah, that's the cost of the bag, and it's like probably like a little bit over half the amount of money I would spend if I purchased from a shop for this bag and this size of Chloe bag, from what I've gathered in terms of looking around. So that's it for today's video. I hope some of my tips helped you. I hope that it helped you to decide whether now is a good time to get a designer bag, whether you don't need one at all, whether you want one later down the line. And I have a lot of videos coming similar to this, because I really do want more bags like this. Like, now I've got it, it's just so nice. And I took her out the other day, I think on one of the hottest days in the UK, I took this baby out, and it was just so nice to, like, you know, have it. And I actually want a few more, and I'm gonna be doing like videos that not necessarily like with this bag, but like there's other bags that are like high-end or designer bags that they might not be so high in price, and there's a few other videos I've got in the working, so regarding my journey to getting more designer bags. So if you like that kind of stuff, please like, subscribe, share my video. I would love you forever. And there's also more videos coming. I've got beauty videos coming, I've got fashion videos coming. There's a lot of filming I've got to get done. Like I said, I've been gone from Instagram and YouTube for like months. I think maybe 2 or 3 months. I had some things happen, and we're gonna talk about that eventually. But yeah, I am coming, and I'm coming with so much content, hauls. I've got hauls upon hauls, and yeah, you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.